Nice job.
Thanks.
I like this film, and I guess I want to explore your connection with it, because I think people are curious, and I'm curious on your connection with the film and wanting to do this film and wanting to play this character. Where are you connected?
Well, I was approached by Jeffrey Katzenberg, who I've worked with before and I like very much. And I'd never done an animated movie. And initially I was leery. I was, it was a bit risky, I thought. I thought it was a huge undertaking, and I thought, there's bound to be controversy before they start anything.
Sure.
And
can't please all the people all the
well,
time.
it's the Bible, wars are started over, right? So then they showed me, so I was a little bit on the fence, and then they showed me this sort of very preliminary animation dance of this character, and she was very feisty, and I liked her very much. And then they showed me a 10-minute presentation of the beginning of the movie, and it was really just a series of storyboards, really, of the opening of the movie, and of her putting Moses in the basket and floating him down the river, and that haunting song, Deliver Us. And that was it for me.
That put you over the edge?
That put me over the edge. I was in. I thought, well, this is going to be something, I think, really spectacular, so.
I haven't heard you sing in a movie in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And that's a real privilege,
Oh.
I think, to sing this song.
Yeah, totally. Such a beautiful song.
I mean, I listen to it, and there are moments in this film that just really fly off the screen for me, and because I know it, like what you said, it's really hard to do. This is a really hard undertaking. But every once in a while, film can be elevated, and it can be high art and meaningful at the same time. It doesn't matter how earnest you are, but sometimes how good the production team is, because it's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
When you watch this film, what pleases you the most?
I think it has so much integrity, and it's really, I think the message is very modern and very universal and timeless, and I think that, especially when you're dealing with animation, a lot of kids are going to see it. And it will take them to another level than they're used to, it's of a more serious nature than what they're used to. But, perhaps because it is animated, you can, reach them on another level and, perhaps on some spiritual level, and it'll sort of reach them wherever they are spiritually, and about being heroic, and about really staying truthful to, who you are and what you believe and your principles, no matter what they are. And I think that those are really important, when peer pressure is, kids are just so controlled by what's around them and peer pressure. And so I think anytime you can sort of inject something that's contrary to that, then
Are your kids old enough to see this film?
I don't think so. Maybe my 5-year-old perhaps, but she's not that, I think maybe a more sophisticated 5-year-old. She gets a little scared.
Mine are 9 and 11. I have 2 daughters.
I think that's a good age.
And they're ready.
That's a good age.
They're
Absolutely.
in the seats and ready to go. And plus,
I think even 7, I think,
And just the idea, not so much that it's a movie about answers, but it makes you ask all these questions. It makes you wonder.
Very thought-provoking. For
About
children, yeah, because my kids are asking a lot of questions about God, and I don't frankly know what to say to them. I didn't really grow up in a terribly religious household, and
they kind of make you think yourself. They're asking you questions and you don't have the answers. So, parenting's an everyday thing, isn't it? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I appreciate it.